What's happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Curve Uncensored. I am your host, Carolyn. And like I always say, I'm not here for a long time, but I am here for a good and informational time. And keep in mind, everything I say on this show is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Nothing more and nothing less. So do whatever you want to do with it. It's just to put you in the now and know that is really it. Okay, let's get into this show. Now, a few days ago, I was surfing around the internet like I always do. And I came across some pictures of Angel Reese. And it wasn't the pictures so much that made me stop and do a double take. It was more of the comments that were next to the pictures that were on Twitter. Now, what was even more like shocking, I won't even say shocking. It's kind of like, it's typical behavior where the comments were, I would say at least 80% of the comments that I read, that I took the time to read, were from African American men. And you had a few African American women, and a few other races, which was totally expected. But what really, really threw me out of all the demographics we had right there were the African American men. And not so much that they had stuff negative to say, because for some reason, our men, and not all of them, some of them behave better. Okay, let's get that together, because I don't want to hear nobody talking about what you mean, our men. I mean, some of the men are of our race feel like it's okay and it's more acceptable to say things that are not so nice, inappropriate, demeaning, and the list goes on to our women, African American women. Rather, and it's regardless of the age, whether they're older, younger, middle age, it doesn't matter. It seems like society would kind of overlook it when something is demeaning that is said to us. They might say something back briefly, but it's not as deep as it is if it was a woman of another race. So I particularly paid attention to this because Angel Reese, everyone knows of her. Most people, can't ever say everyone, but most people know of her. She is I would think she's about 22 years old or so, and she plays in the WNBA. She attended LSU, same school that Shaquille O'Neal attended for college. She attended there and she did well enough to make it into the league. My granddaughter, Liliana, she loves herself some Angel Reese because in her naive eyes, she sees nothing but this pretty lady that she can look up to, and she loves basketball. She's just getting into basketball. And she read up on Angel Reese. I mean, when Angel Reese came to Atlanta, I paid about $400 to go see her play. But she really wanted to go see Angel Reese. She wanted to go see Angel Reese so bad. She bugged me, and bugged me. So she went to go see Angel Reese play. When I say she really loves Angel Reese, and she liked Caitlin Clark too, but she really looks up to Angel Reese because she can relate. She's African American, just like her. And she's playing a sport that she really loves. So that's why I kind of took to this picture when I saw it posted and I saw all the negative comments. Because I get sick and tired, and I'm tired and sick of a lot of our men feeling like society accepts when they talk degrading to us as women. I feel as if they need to cap that because it's not cool by no means, no shape, no form. Now, granted, like I said earlier, Angel Reese is about 22 years old, I'm assuming, and she's done well for herself. You understand? She has worked very hard to get where she is. And instead of giving her positive comments and things like that, I get she sometimes her clothes that she wears is questionable, but she's 22. She's still learning. She's still figuring things out. And she's probably getting some endorsements from some of these and different brands that you see her with certain clothes on. I mean, and she's probably thinking beyond the WNBA because you have to make that plan B sometimes at some point will be your plan A, what most people in life, everyday people, celebrities, or whomever. So she's probably getting some sort of endorsement from some of the clothes that she's wearing, right? But I was so irritated because, like I said, a lot of the comments came from our men. When they should be respecting this young lady. And a lot of people may say she don't respect herself because she always dressing scantily clad. So I'm gonna give her and address her as that. But when you have a Charleston White who could probably be her dad, a real close, I know he could be a good uncle, and you have other people like saying other things to her that's inappropriate. You gotta look at them, and you know what? And then the advice I heard her and Shaquille were on this podcast, and Shaquille said something. I was like, come on, Shaquille. And I know you can't take everything that he says at face value because he's always a jokester and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, even with the comments that were on Twitter, right? Most of those people probably have daughters, or they probably have cousins, or they probably have sisters. They definitely have a mom somewhere if they're here and leaving crazy comments. Why would you encourage her to do an OF page? Why would you do that? And then why would you suggest that she wear t-shirts and she can make more money selling them if she was dunking and the rim was lower? Why would you do that? And not to mention Charleston White. And I'm gonna play his video, a little clip of his video. He's so, you know what? Let me tell you about Charleston White. I know his game. He just does and says a lot of the things that he does and say for attention and for money. He's already put it out there. So I don't take him serious either. I really don't, because I know the whole purpose of what he does is to get attention and to for conversation pieces like I'm doing now. And I get it, that's his hustle. And he stated before why he does it. So I'm not going to go into that because he's a really intelligent man. He has a daughter, I think, and a son. But he always comes down and disrespect our women, you know. But when it comes to, I heard when he spoke on his daughter, he hopes that his daughter don't turn out to want to be a certain way because as a father, he's always been there. When he was talking to these models on another podcast, he was disrespecting them. My biggest thing, he has a advocacy group that he is a mentor for. And it's actually his group that he founded. What type of mentor are you when you talking to and of people the way that he does? I mean, I just don't get it. And I know it's about the money, and I know he considers that playing a character, but certain things you got to have some boundaries. You understand what I'm saying? I get him, and I know exactly why he's doing. That's what feed his family, and that's his hustle. And I ain't knocking it, but sometimes, like for instance, with a young girl like Angel Reese, when she posted that picture, okay, this is the picture in this little loungewear, right? You know, most people would say she shouldn't have had that on online. I get that. And that's what should have been said. All the other stuff that was said was like team too much. It wasn't necessary. I see the trouble that this young lady be going through sometimes, a lot of times during the season when she's trying to do her best, and people are criticizing her a lot of time when they're comparing her to Caitlin Clark. It's like it's always them against each other, and that's the nature of the sport. That's the nature of any sport, right? To have that rivalry. That's kind of what get the money and the fans coming, and the money coming in. So I get that part too. But it always seems like it's so negative when they're talking about her as opposed to Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark is a good player. Now, you talk to my son, he loves himself some Caitlin Clark. He says she's a legend. I personally think she's very good at what she does, but she's not quite a legend yet because she's been in the game long enough, not at that level. But she is good at what she does. Angel Reese, same thing. She's still learning as well, and she's good at what she does. So my thing is, we understand the rivalry part of it all, but when you start talking nasty about one and not nasty of the other, that's where I get bothered. because I feel like as African American women, we get that so much. Still a nice picture. It's no more than like a swimsuit. But if you look up here, you'll see Skims, right? Which is Kim Kardashian's line. And this outfit I saw on that line, which is where she got it from. Now, I don't know if she's getting any endorsements on that. I do not know. But I do know this is where she got it from. No more than a bathing suit. But, a lot of men are not going to see it that way. That is the picture that they were commenting on. Well, let me read these comments real quick to you. Some of them. I'm not going to read them all. Some of the comments that made me real irritated. You had one guy named boss_ZVOB says she's going to open an OF soon. And that's OnlyFans. For you all who don't know what OF means. Watch the space. And then stop S-ulizing me, which is a quote that Angel had said. And people are basically they're quoting, okay, you don't want to be S-ulized, then stop wearing those kind of clothes. And someone says, I know she grown, but I know her parents don't approve of the HSHIT. Another comment. She would be crying about people SE-lizing her by the end of the day. Another comment. I mean, it's just, and it goes on. Someone wanted to know where her lounge set was from. Someone said Shaq was right. Lower the hoop and dress like that. Y'all selling tickets. And then someone had the nerve to say, she don't want to be a basketball player. She want to be a H. Like Charleston White said. And I'm going to play you a little insert. Charleston White was on Say Cheese, which is another podcast show. And he's always on that podcast show. And he's my big old glasses, y'all. And there's a lot of little elements going on. But anyway, he was on Say Cheese. And he had his little 2-3 cent that he was saying. These were some of the comments that I was reading from when I was kind of speaking. These were some of them. Just crazy. Okay, Charleston White is this guy who he goes around and he's a comedian and he goes and does interviews and he does a lot of different things. That's how he kind of come up, and he does shows and all that. But he has a real foul mouth and he think it's cute. But he said anything that comes up, comes out of his mouth. So whatever he says is no surprise to me. But Charleston White has went on to become successful. Him making the comments that she want to sell, what, and she want to be a H. She want to be a rapper because she was at some rap concert. I think she was with Megan, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when he went on to make the comment about his daughter is graduating. See, you down in someone else's child because this is someone else's child. So you down in her, but you lifting up your daughter and hoping that she don't want to do any of the things that, she's doing because you've been there. Well, you don't know what happened with her father. You don't know if her father, Angel's father, was there. You don't know if he's deceased. You don't know what happened with her situation. But whatever it is, she didn't ask for it because she was a child at the time. So you should be careful what you say about people, because the same grave you dig for someone you might be digging for yourself. But Charleston White is always extra. But if you all get what I'm talking about, drop a comment. Do you think that they were okay for saying a lot of the things Shaq made, the comment he made, or which I'm surprised because they went to the same college. you would think that he would be more positive instead of negative. But I don't know. I don't be knowing what be going through people's minds. This is the thing. Let me let you hear some of Charleston White's statements. The guy on Say Cheese was kind of leading up into this, and he was making comments about what Charleston White was going to say. So hold on.
She can't do nothing but play basketball. I ain't the reason why I just start said. I'll be looking at the way she dressed. She don't want to play basketball. She want to. She got that. Is she a basketball player? Don't know about this. Don't no woman play basketball. Like, don't no real woman shoot no hoop. They learn home economics. All the lesbian women play. Yeah, so she been sell some to get your OnlyFans. She'll make way more money OnlyFans than trying to shoot a jump shot.
And let me tell you why. Let me give you a little insight. Angel Reese was making a comment about the presidency. She was unhappy about the outcome, and that's her decision. She votes for who she wants to vote for, and Charleston votes for whoever he wants to vote for. That's just how it goes. But this is what she was commenting on, and he went left like he always does. And now he has an organization that he started to mentor youth. Does he sound like somebody you want mentoring your children? And the thing is, he's not a dummy. He just make money being ignorant. So he just do it because he can do it well, and he got a name going. And people talk about him like I'm doing so. Hey, I ain't knocking his hustle. But to say she just want to be an H, all she want to do is sell, you know what? Look at the way she dressed and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you kind of uplift this young lady? When I see her during the season, and they're comparing a lot of times her to Caitlyn or whatever the case may be. I can see the pain in her eyes. I can see she tries to be strong because she kind of knows that comes with the territory. But I can see the pain. But every time someone compares, not every time, but most of the time, it's always they uplifting one and down an angel. And I just think that is wild and it's terrible. And it's indicative of the world we live in, because a lot of times people feel as if it's okay to say what you want. It'll be overlooked and it'll be a little more tolerated if you do that to an African American woman. But if it was a woman, if he was talking to Caitlyn or something like that, then he would not have said those things, or he would have said those things a little differently, because they have a different level of respect for Caucasian women than they do African American women. We, as a race of women, we know that we got to be strong. And when we're strong, it's almost like we're too strong. Like, make up your mind. Decide what you want us to be. But respect us equally, and then maybe some of that will come down. But this is the thing that kind of tripped me out, because for years, athletes have dressed that way. Like I said, other races, it's called something a little different. It's called 40 of the sexiest female athletes, or 16 smoking hot. Let me show you this one right here. 16 smoking hot female athletes. These are athletes, and these are more recent, because you can tell this is an Instagram little vibe right here. So you know this is not from back in the day or nothing like this. But this has been going on for a while. And women dress sexy, and they're not called a H, or they want to sell P, or all this and that. They're called, it's because it's some of people of a different race, or women of a different race. It's not a H page or nothing like that. It's smoking hot female athletes. You should know. Smoking hot, because you're going to respect Caucasian women differently. You're going to respect those women and watch what you say, because you know the consequences are greater. So you're not going to say the things that you say to your own women of your own race. You're going to be more white glove. So this is my point of this. Look at these pictures. Nothing wrong with it. It's just like a bodysuit, though. You know, to me, it's a swimwear. Number 16 is Stephanie Rice. She's one of the smoking hot females. She's from Australia. A 3-time gold medalist. She's a swimmer. She got on the swimsuit. You have number 14, Allison Felix, and I'm not gonna name them all. I'm just gonna bathing suit, swimsuit. She's track and field phenom. Paula Creamer, All American Girl Next Door type that makes you drool. You have Anna Rawson. That's lingerie. My point is, you got Angela Ripon. Anyway, just kind of go down here. Kaylin Kyle. It's just the list goes on. Really not much different than Angela had on. But the thing is, they are called 16 of the smoking hot female athletes. Now, look at this. Let me show you one more. These are the 40. This is 40 sexiest female athlete photos. Now, same swimsuit. She's probably a surfer or something. But I'm just going to go down them real quick. Playboy. These are all athletes. Sexy photos. Beautiful women. Beautiful women. Sexy photos. But you don't hear nobody saying the things about these women that you hear them saying on X, formerly Twitter. You don't hear swimsuits. Yeah, that's sports on the beach, but not all of them. You don't hear anything that you heard about Angel Reese. This is what I'm saying. This is why I got so frustrated. Because to me, it's a double standard. A big time double standard. And I don't think it's fair. Like I said, I see the pain that this young lady in her eyes go through when she's getting compared a lot of times during the regular season. I understand doing those kind of sports and doing really anything, you got to put on a tough exterior in order to become and be successful. I get it. I got all of that. But all I'm saying is when it comes from your own people, men, even ladies, you expect it from other races a lot of times. I'm going to just keep it 100. But when it comes from within, it just hits a little different. It just hits a little harder. My thing is, maybe she needs some advice. Maybe you can tell her how to invest her money, how to do things that way, as opposed to telling her to go and do stuff so racy, because all she had on was loungewear. Something, as you can see, athletes have been doing forever. I think the 40 sexiest female athletes, that was back in like 99. So women have been doing it forever. But you don't get it, and you don't hear them being called the things that Angel is called. And I think people need to really do a self-check, especially within our own race, and stop it. I get so tired of it. It's so annoying. So that's the reason why I came forward to do this video, because I think people need a reality check, a gut check, because they have daughters. Like I said, they have cousins, they have sisters, they have mothers. And they would not like it if someone recommended for their children to go do an OnlyFans page, or recommended that their daughter go sell that word or insinuate that. They want to defend their children. They want to defend their own daughters. They want to defend their mothers. But this is someone's daughter, someone's sister, maybe someone's cousin. I don't know her whole family dynamics. I don't know if her father was involved. He could have been. He may not have been. Neither do you all. So instead of downing the girl, maybe you can give her some encouragement and talk to her in a way that something might ring a bell. But like I say, she's 22. What were you all doing at 22? Charleston White, I know you were saying that you was out here slanging. You was in the streets. But now you found another way. You making money out here, doing something different. Not necessarily the most positive way, but I understand why you're doing what you're doing. You said when you was talking nice and you was saying intelligent things, nobody wanted to listen. Now you got them listening. I get it. Shaquille, we know, like you said, you've made mistakes along the way, but now you're a rich man. So you can maybe encourage her because she's in your same career path and tell her some of the loopholes and things and let her know what not to do. And not telling her to go look for them to lower the hoop and put a short shirt on and jump. That is realizing when she has on loungewear and y'all want to take it to the left. Now, I know I've seen other pictures out there that are racy and stuff like that too. And I get it. But what I'm saying is maybe you can give her some encouragement and maybe it might steer her in another direction. I appreciate the hard work that she's put into this. No one knows what this young lady have had to go through to get to where she is. No one knows that. No one knows her struggles. No one knows that. So instead of downing her, I think Caitlin Clark, she's in a very good place as well. But of course, she's had a stable environment and things of that nature. But everything that you see on the outside is not always gold. You understand what I'm saying? So I think they're both are great athletes. I think they're both working hard, and I think they're both are young, and they're both going to make mistakes along the way. But I'm saying directly, and I wish them both well, by the way. But what I am saying is to our men and our women, let's really do a self check and think if this was my daughter, my niece, my cousin, or my mama, would I want anyone talking to her the way that I've heard and seen and read that people have been talking about her and of her. That's all. I just wanted to come and speak to you all about it because, like I said, my granddaughter loves herself some Angel Reese. And regardless of what anyone says, I want her to have an idol to look up to, and maybe we can encourage her to instill maybe other behavior. But you never know if she is working for these certain brands. Okay? So check yourself before you wreck yourself and stop being so negative. Okay? Anyway, that's it.